Hello and welcome to Goa 365's Story Behind the Story. Now we are moving into the budget season in Goa. The central budget is already done. Now the local budget is going to happen anytime soon. And as of now, tourism is the mainstay of Goan economy. Now the pandemic has hit this very people oriented, people focused industry in a very big way. So with me are TTAG's president Nilesh Shah and another main member of TTAG, Ernest Dias, who is also one of the pillars of the charter tourism in the state. He's with Sita. Guys, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Nilesh, I would like to start with you. Before we get into the details and nitty-gritties, could you tell us what is the present tourism status in the state? Given looking at it optimistically, like you and me, we both look at the glass half full instead of half empty. After COVID, and now the COVID is slowly, sort of.
Thank you again, Glenn, for inviting us. To start with, all the star hotels are doing quite good business into Goa. Many of the hotels had, like one hotel we were just talking about, they had almost 16 weddings in the last 4-5 months, which is very good scenario. But one thing we have to understand, we all are still on survival mode. These hotels are a little bit on revival mode, but all are offering the price less, 20%, 30% overall. So that in turn is affecting smaller hotels in big way because they cannot compete with the pricing, and people are looking at safety aspect, and it is a psychological that people feel more safer in the star hotels where they feel the protocols are better being followed. Secondly, what is happening is the small hotels. Many of the small hotels, the dependence was on the charter tourists and the foreign tourists which come into Goa, which is not non-existent. So many of them have still not started. To give you a rough idea, the 3,500 odd registered with the GEL, that is Goa Electronic, where as per the tourism department is 4,100. There is some data is not telling, but suppose 3,500 as a base if we take, out of which 1,300 hotels have started. So balance, which is quite a bit number. These are all small hotels, guest houses, right, ranging from 2 rooms to 50 rooms, different ranges. They have still not started.
So wait, let me just to clarify, these around 1,300 have started. So these, according to what we understand, is the top, the higher class hotels.
Higher hotels and the city hotels which have started. Which have started. So balance have still not started, and for the challenge for them is unless the all segment of the industry don't start, it is very going to be difficult. Secondly, travel agents like us or tour operators, they are at standstill because corporates are not traveling. There is no leisure travel happening. There is no outbound travel happening. Similarly, there is no inbound tourist, which is as good as zero. So all these things right now we are paying salaries and hoping that something will start. So one good news is the vaccination has started, not only in India but destinations which we cater for, like UK have started big way, Russia have started in big way. So all these places starting the vaccination, we hope it will go speed up in days to come, and there will be a positive message will go, because here what is happening, the tourism, we was the first sector to hit, and that will be the last sector to be revived, because unless positive messaging goes that unless I feel mentally safe, I am not going to travel. Let's be very clear. So the efforts what we have to put in is quite big, and in days to come there will be a lot of competition from neighboring countries also, and neighboring state also as far as domestic is concerned. Fortunate enough for us, we had lot of domestic tourists coming into Goa. Reason being, other tourist spots in Goa, they did not open up, and one good part of Goa government where we have to thank them is that once they open up as per MHA guideline, they have not looked back. They have just opened up each and everything, which has helped getting in tourists, and fortunately for us, with God grace, the numbers also were in control, which helped overall that positivity around the tourism industry as a whole, and it has helped Goa in the to quite substantial. I'll just give one statistic. I was talking to Excise Commissioner around a week back. He told me the collection is almost 90% of last year's January, which is fantastic. So absolutely. That means there are a lot of locals, tourists who have been consuming, maybe taking this overall excise. It's not a restaurant related to restaurant bar, but overall excise, so which is quite good. So that's all, which is a positive side of it. But as new year coming in, new financial year coming in, we require a lot of support for our survival and then revival.
Yeah, okay. This the specific budget related we can go into later. Ernest, what I was wanted to know is this. Now you are, the charter tourism at one time was the mainstay of Indian tourism. Right now, domestics also are playing a large part. But means, what do you see? What is the status and what do you feel about this whole charter thing? Because one thing is, ultimately, this vaccination, people have started vaccination, but there's a hesitant. Like even in my house now, maybe I am for the wife and maybe are against. So in many places it's like this. What is it? What's going to take for you to? What's the status? What's it going to take for you for your business to actually take off?
First of all, in Goa today we get charters from very few countries: Russia, Eastern Europe, maybe Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Poland, and in UK. Now UK is going through a crisis.
Yeah, major crisis.
Russians are brave, they are ready to travel and they are traveling. A lot of Russians are moving to Africa, Turkey, Egypt. They are going in big numbers. So even we tried our best through TTAG to try to allow Russians to come to Goa in these months of February, March. But unfortunately the government did not agree and did not open the borders. If they had allowed domestic tourists to come to Goa, I'm sure Russians coming to Goa would have not made a difference and would have helped the economy, because a lot of hotels are dependent on the Russian business. But I am confident that if we open the borders, we will get tourists from Russia in big numbers, and it'll be more like revenge tourism. Like how the domestic came into Goa big time, so the Russians will come, because they really look forward to coming back to Goa in the winters.
Okay, I wanted to make just one point to you, Ernest, as a this. Now there is what we are doing, I mean like what the Indian government is doing is bringing people from many states, sort of a bubble. And you just talk about this bubble, so this sort of a bubble. So is that not possible with people from, I think maybe Scandinavia or maybe certain areas?
We could target if the government
specific.
We could target, like for example from Russia or from Poland, 2 bubble flights only to Goa.
Yes,
you
that's what I'm saying.
You tell the tour operator you don't allow your clients to go any other part of India.
Yes.
And we would have controlled that.
You can easily control that.
Yeah, so that would have been the best thing for these months. But now we are coming towards the end of the winter season. Yeah. So I don't think any Russian charter operator want to come here. They are preparing for the summers. Summers start from April. Okay. So we have sort of lost out. But now we have to look for the coming season.
Coming season means October.
From October onwards.
Okay, now I want to ask you another, everybody talks about domestic tourism. But what I'm saying is now these, the Europeans that come in, be it from Russia, Poland or wherever, they are looking for a little bit of infrastructure, cleanliness, XYZ, and they spend, right? Or is it the domestic tourists who come in huge numbers? I'm talking about an average, because I know there are some domestic tourists who really spend. The top, even if we go, we spend. There are many of them, they come in their vehicles, 8-10 of them. Who would spend more? These charter tourists with this, or these local tourists, according to what your experience?
See, I would say the domestic tourists, the top end domestic tourists.
No. Besides the top end, leaving the top end out, I'm talking about the 80%.
In general, the people who come in jeeps, they don't spend any money. We see them, I live in Kalangut, you see them even in the fields cooking their own food. So that's the type of tourists we don't want. And in fact, even in Kalangut, you'll find in many places, they put veg biryani for 100 rupees. And do you want such type of tourists to come to Goa? While the foreign tourists who come, even if it's the low-end charter tourist, he comes for minimum 14 to 21 nights. And he spends money in the shack. Today the shacks are not doing well because you don't have domestic tourists sitting in the shacks. The foreign tourist wants to sit in the shack because he enjoys the sun. We feel hot sitting in the shacks without any fan on. So that's the difference. And today shacks are suffering, restaurants are suffering, hotels low category hotels are suffering. Even I would say go up to the extent of 3-star, 4-star. The 5-star doing well, but look at the business. It's only weekend business. Now the business which you are getting is mainly weekend business.
Even in the 5-star.
Even in the 5-star. While if you had charter, it was back to back. 14 nights, 21 nights, some 28 nights too.
Yeah. Nilesh, you would like to add to this?
See, basically the key is like, every time I say about, like when we talk about because of foreign tourists, domestic tourists are more attracted to Goa.
This has been your point. I remember we've had so many.
Secondly,
discussions.
the second point is one foreign tourist is equivalent to 5 domestic tourists. The calculation is given 15 days to 21 days.
That's exactly.
So basically what happens,
Yeah.
that helps up the filling of the room nights.
Yeah.
Because why the small hotels are not opening? Because first of all, they don't have the idea how domestic season, because they have not catered to that. Because they were happy enough to
Yeah, so many
years, and then you just talk to 3-4 people like Ernest, or people who have this thing, who have business, and once they have been approved abroad, then they don't have to spend much on the marketing part or everything, because otherwise it's very expensive business. The so-called portals, and they charge quite big commissions, and the Oyo stories which are printed, people are filing cases against them. So there are a lot of stories. So people want more simpler, and in Goa basically nobody wants that headache. People want to do clean business without any tension. So that is the key. Now, as far as this people who are coming on that, we are on the tracks which are coming, in effect does not benefit anyone, except for maybe liquor shops, because they may be buying from there. Besides that, they bring their own food, they cook on this thing. So there has to be, we cannot discriminate anyone, but the promotion or there has to be some which can be streamlined. We have given different suggestions. I think it is possible to have streamline the tourist on that count, and attract the tourists which will generate revenue. I will not talk about the quality tourist or all those type of words, but who can generate the revenue to the state government and in general the public.
Actually, I have a small this on it, because I've been seeing like I've also half of my life I've lived in Kalangut, because I'm from the North Belt only. So the thing is, I've seen there are different types of tourists. There is a tourist, and even the upper end Indian or the foreigners, the people who spend, they want to see. Goa has got its own USP, right? It's green, it's quaint, it's nice, people. So they want to see that. And there is another type of tourist who comes for the beach, they come to drink, they come to the beach, and they want to see sorry, it's not what is it, politically correct, but they want to see the foreigners on the beaches. So the issue is that probably, this is my saying, because we are probably every type of tourism has its place. However, the minute the mixture happens, then it could be probably dangerous, and probably counterproductive. Is this the way our tourism is going? Because I've had a lot of things from foreigners saying, why do we come to Goa? We don't want to see buildings. You can see buildings in my place much better than. Is this what feedback you are getting from your clients, from your list?
See, what I would say is for example, 31st December, if you go to that Kalangut Baga stretch, everyone wants to go and see the last sunset of the year.
Okay.
2 seasons ago, we had to tell the charter tourists not to go to the beach, because they were literally bullied and harassed by the domestic tourists. So this is a concern.
And then it spreads.
The word goes around.
See, problem what happens is, especially this 4-5 days, like Christmas, say from 24th till 31st, 24th, 27th, and then from 29th to 2nd, that flux is so much, which needs to be controlled, because the type of tourist comes in, it does not help anyone, and it is creating
control the type
I
of
agree,
tourist,
and it creates a major law and order problem. And can you imagine if something going wrong during that term? We can have a lot of negative impact. So there are a lot of discussion happening and everything, but I think there has to be some solution, and it is possible. If right minds are applied, it is possible. And if you see today, earlier the Kalangut Baga was the base. Kalangut used to be called Queen of Goa. Now today, if you ask me, any Goans who wants to go there, or for that matter, high-end tourist, nobody wants to go. And to certain extent, I don't think the foreigners also want to go. So that image we need to change. How it is possible to change the image? Because we'll have to put some basic things right to be done, I think, and it is possible to do it. First of all, while entering itself, I think every time I'm talking on the same entering itself, you have a selling liquor. So there has to be some restriction put in that they cannot carry bottle at the thing. Because what happens is they are good as long as they are walking in the area, and after 2-3 drinks, many of them are drinking first timers. So there where it that chaos happens. So that's I think it is controllable, but there has to be done if you want to revive Goa tourism in big way, because otherwise we are all asking for trouble. Let's be very clear.
I don't know, you're being an optimist about saying that it's controllable. I think more than controllable.
No, but you tell me, these are basic things, right? Like if you are, when somebody is entering there itself, you have there, see what happens is, unfortunately in India there is no fear of law.
No.
Especially in Goa, Mumbai police just one whistle and people, even the person who is driving Ferrari or driving your BMW will stop and will get scared. In Goa that doesn't happen. Even for the local doesn't happen. Even for tourists doesn't happen, because that means we are doing something wrong, which we have to correct it. I don't want to spell it out further, but the message is clear.
I don't think you need to spell it out further. Now, actually, in my, I'm saying you're being an optimist because you think it can be. I'm saying is that, see, we have laws. We have laws for everything. I think we have too many laws.
Too many laws.
The issue is that it's the implementation of the laws.
Absolutely.
Now, look, in fact, I just another story we did, I think it was on that a couple of days back. We were saying now that there are a lot of cops, but there are no cops, whatever, that let's not get into that. Now, what they do when they look at the tourists on the road, so they look at anybody, they will just be stopping for helmets.
Yeah.
Okay, there'll be guys zooming, dark glasses, tinted glasses, high-end cars, many of them of ministers, of MLAs. I'm saying it. What? No, it comes, this bang, this side, drink, drive. No, they'll stop for 4, 5, 6 of them will be there with one helmets, or papers. Now tell me one thing, your government is giving license to rent-a-cars, rent-a-bikes. So you catch hold of the guys who are doing rent-a-cars, rent-a-bikes and see that the papers are correct. Why are you harassing these guys? If they are doing drinking and driving, if they are doing accident, catch them. Otherwise,
no, that's what we have been telling them, because see, ultimately this gives a bad name to Goa.
Gives a bad name.
Very bad name, and but let's be very clear. This Goa charm, it is because we have repeat tourists. Correct. It may be a foreigner or domestic.
Anybody,
with this type of attitude of ours, we are killing that repeat tourist. Tourists may come once, but second time is going to be difficult. Like in foreigners, they are coming for 20 years, 30 years.
Regularly, I know.
Similarly, we have a lot of domestic tourists. How come this wave of people, Delhi people, Mumbai people buying second house came in Goa? Because they repeatedly coming to Goa. And that is enthusiasm. Why not have something? So can you imagine the type of the repeat customer we used to get? So I think which is dying down, and I think we have to focus back on our basics to get them back.
Okay, now TTNG had gone to meet the Chief Minister with the budget coming up, and also could you give us a general start off, and then after maybe Nilesh can add to it. What exactly you all want? Now this infrastructure, hopefully we'll have time at the end, but I want to get back to it because that is one of our favorite discussion points for some time. I'll get to the toilets and all later, but let's do this budget thing first, which is as of now more relevant than the general thing.
See, we requested the Chief Minister from the charter side. We said just allow 3 things. One is don't charge parking lending fees.
Okay.
That will give an incentive to the tour operator to consider Goa than some of the other competing destinations. Then we said do not charge a visa fee. So any client coming to Goa, there will be free visa, just to encourage them to come in. And thirdly, we said see if you can incentivize the tour operator. Give the tour operator maybe like a $10, $15 on every arriving passenger into Goa.
Okay.
So these are the incentives we said. We said forget about your marketing, whatever you do, going for trade shows and travel markets. We don't need that. That budget we spend on this, and we will show you that we will increase the number of charter clients to Goa for the coming season.
I don't think the tourism department officials will like you.
No, you will not like it. I tell you. No, I calculated in front of Chief Minister because we didn't carry those figures. The total cost, if they give free landing and free visas, will not come more than 5 crores roughly.
Are you saying only?
You will calculate, no? Suppose 2 lakh foreign tourists are coming in, because it's going to be a downer size. The visa fees is $15. So comes to 15 into 2 lakhs. So 30 lakhs around roughly. So overall it is doable. What I'm trying to say is the overall cost, it is be less than, maybe my figures are not correct, but it is less than the tourism budget which they spend on the marketing. So similarly, even if they give free landing, it does not cost more than 2 to 3 crores roughly. Suppose 1.5 lakh is landing, and multiply by say 600 flights or 700 flights come into.
This time they may not be that.
Not that much.
So that's what we have to encourage them
to have that and incentivize the tourists. Suppose if you are
Yeah.
giving $10, again same calculation, 2 lakh tourists coming in, how much it comes to? Now that can go a long way in getting the operators looking at us, because ultimately it's selling, right? So when they are going to sell abroad, pricing may be the same. It will be Goa will be sold on the same platter as Sri Lanka, Turkey, Egypt, Thailand, Indonesia and Bali. So when we are competing with those people, we require to have that level playing field, and for the operators to get attracts in Goa. See, I'll give simple example which I gave there, which I would like to see. When you go to attract anything, when you say something is free, automatically your mind goes there. So see, ultimately it's a basic marketing. So what we are talking is that if you do these two things free, suppose if you are getting free landing, free visas, automatically tourists will be attracted. Means the tourists in general will be attracted to.
Actually, I have a point on this. Now, you all have also gone in and put in some more things. You all have asked for some more details. Could you give us just in short, because I want to get back to this.
Basically, the one thing was an excise which we have been talking for quite some time. But thanks to the certain things they already done, like police clearance, then
online
more than one licenses. Now they come given you 5 years license also. 5 years license you can apply, which is quite to be appreciated. But what we are talking about right now, because industry was in distress and still in the distress, especially the small operators, you waive off 6 months visa the charges. Now total fixed charges on excise from the restaurant from the hotel industry, basically on restaurant bar, is around 23 CR. So if they waive off, it comes to 11 crores for 6 months, 11.5 crores. So that was about one of the major demand. Second was on the farm. If you want to promote ecotourism, allow farms to have the bar licenses under a certain category.
Fields,
not on the fields. The people who have ecotourism zones which have been created to promote the ecotourism into Goa. Like in Goa, even for picnic, if I were to promote anything in the farm, if I am not going to serve liquor there, I am not going to go there. Let's be very frank enough. So there has to be more practical approach towards it. Secondly, on the waiver of, like, there was no garbage collections for 6 months. Why charge for that? There was no municipality. So some give waivers on those topics. That was a general thing. On the charters we had talked about. The tourism board, in fact, we have been talking for quite some time now. They have announced everything, and there are basic suggestions which we have given it to them, which government should look into it and implement it, which will go long way into getting overall the tourism industry on the right track. With the professionals approach towards it. So which we have given them, again we have requested them to do it. Thirdly was on the tourism licenses also, to give us some relief on that, this basically. Secondly was taximeters, which has been we are hampering for quite some time. So we have told government to see, because we have filed third writ petition and we don't like to go against government. Third time.
Wow.
We have filed third what you call contempt against for this thing
to implement
it.
It's a central order. Why do you have to file?
That's no, but then it's not happening. So now CM has assured that all the thing is on the track, and before 15 April they are intend to give free meters to all taxi drivers.
Why?
I don't know. So anyway, that is government stick. We don't want to call, but our take on this is very clear. You can charge whatever you want to, whatever in the meter, we have no objection, but meter has to be implemented to show the safety aspect, and secondly the confidence level, because nobody, if I go to UK, if I have taxi, I know it is costly, but I know this is a charge what I will pay. The problem here is you feel cheated, which should not happen.
What is the rate, taxi rate per kilometer?
I think it was 21 or 23 rupees for
25,
26. But even if
highest in the,
I agree, but what I'm see, ultimately the market forces will derive, so we are not worried much on that.
Fair enough.
Secondly, was on the app-based taxis. So we have said that you have to promote and you cannot stop which is already existing. To be frank enough, the Goa MICE, which is only existing right now, and there are 2-3 small players which are there. So which should be there. Rental. Now problem what happens is these people give a GST to the government. Last year they have given almost 1.5 CR last financial year. This final, even with this thing, I think they will give 60-70 lakhs, which was not existing earlier.
More than that, it's unique.
So basically, what happens? The government is also looking at the revenue aspect, and secondly, the safety aspect, which goes into long way into that. Secondly, which we are talking about on the electricity front, where not to penalize, and the scheme which they have given, one-time settlement to be extended, because even if you give it to me, I don't have money, it doesn't make sense. Especially the exemption has to be made to the tourism industry. That was our request. Secondly, the MICE and weddings are the big thing into Goa, because that is one segment which also gives big numbers to the industry. It helps right from smallest of vendor product, from flowers, supplying flowers, to supplying fish, to and any big events or stage, making a stage, you name it, it helps in big way. So that's MICE is a meeting, incentives, conferences and events. So that has to be promoted, and the charges has to be rationalized, and it has to be, when we are talking ease of doing business, in actual sense ease of doing business has to be. So our request was to look into the ease of doing business. That was one thing. Secondly was on the,
we have we'll give last closing.
So this was our major thing which we are given, and certain suggestion we are given which they can give it to the center, because they are interacting regularly with the center. So that suggestion is also given. So basically on ease of doing business, it should be in actual terms, and if anybody wants to do events or anything Goa, it has to be simpler. They made the charge of 50,000 rupees for if you want to do beach wedding into Goa, which is quite high. So it has to be rationalized. That was a basic thing.
Ernest, last 30 seconds. Last ending 30 seconds. Anything you would like to add? End?
See, I would say now is the time when we need support from the government and everyone, because Goa is competing with other destinations.
Also beautiful.
Yeah. And it's not only the charter business, but we are also looking at the foreign individual tourists who comes, whether they come as FITs and groups, and these are the tourists we need to attract to Goa. And for this, we need the support of everyone. We need to make sure that we maintain our beaches, maintain the whole environment, we do not destroy what we have. So because this is the reason why tourists have been coming to Goa right from the time of the hippies till today. So we have to hold on to what we have.
Thanks. Thanks Ernest. Thanks Nilesh. We will probably have another debate and discussion on this ease of doing business, but not later. Thank you. It was right.
Thank you, Glenn. Thanks for inviting us and hearing all views. Thank you.
Thank you. And keep watching Goa 365.